Right, let's do this. Hokey cokey. Hey, Pips. Come on. How we get? He's a good girl. He's a good girl, aren't you? Yeah. Right. Hey, everyone. Good to see you all. Does the chat box work? This is going out to Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. If you could say hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Right. Suresh. Cool. We've got Facebook user. Whoever that is. Probably Raymond. Stuart. Cheryl. Hey, hey. Hey, Amanda. And right. Noel. Nice. Okay. Chat is working. Give it one more minute and then we will start. Okay. Right. Okay. I think we should start. And today we're going to cover about half an hour of crypto, and then I'd like to talk about half an hour of wealth generation stuff in general, so businessy type stuff. No, so I'm just reading some. Okay, right. So first of all, a lot's going on, and I'm going to take this off. This is absolutely boiling in this office. Sorry. Right. I am getting inundated with crypto questions, and so I'm just going to try and answer all of it in this session. And before we do anything else, I want to start with a top-down picture. Okay, so whenever I look at anything, I start with the biggest picture possible, then go down. And so I did a few doodles. Now, apologies, this isn't properly all typed up or whatever. I literally just spent 5 minutes doing some doodles. And whenever you do a top-down analysis on anything, remember you've got to do that whole alien principle. Again, for those who don't know my alien principle, imagine you're an alien visiting Earth for the first time, and you've come across Bitcoin or whatever, and you're just going to completely objectively analyze Bitcoin. Okay, so in a nutshell, and I'm going to speed through this as fast as I can. Fundamentals, so the big picture stuff. In fact, the other reason I'm doing this is that I was interviewed by someone on another YouTube podcast type channel thing yesterday. I don't know when it's going to be released. And it was an hour of lots of different questions. And I guess half of this interview were crypto questions. But the interviewer would ask me a question. I would then start trying to answer it. But then halfway through my answers, he would then cut in and then ask a completely different question. And then I'm like, oh, and then pretty much every time I was trying to answer a question, he'd then butt in with another question. And so it was this very frustrating interview of shitloads of crypto questions and shitloads of half-answered crypto answers. And I felt like I didn't get my point across, which was thoroughly frustrating. So I haven't seen the release of it yet, but I'll post the link out when it is out. So just so you know, I felt I did a massive disservice for the crypto community in that interview. I just couldn't get my point across. And I was trying to answer 5 questions at once with 30 seconds each. And you know me, I can't answer in 30 seconds. So I can do much better than that. And also, I don't think the interviewer fully understood the answers that I was giving him. So, for example, looking at the fundamentals of crypto, the very first thing is this one here. Global currency supplies and an exponential growth. And also Bitcoin is hard money. This is the only point you need to know when it comes to fundamentals. The only point. I don't even need to go through this big old list that I just spat out of my head. You just need one. And remember, fundamental analysis is for your investing. And when you're investing, it's long term. Technically, investing is sort of a year onwards. So, yeah, use that time frame. And this is the only thing you need to know. The global central banks are the biggest pusher of crypto on the planet. And what I mean by pusher is that it's a fact that they will, or it's a fact that they've expanded the currency supply into oblivion. And through thousands of years of empirical data, we know it's going to happen continuously. It's only going to get worse. So 40% of all the dollars in existence were created last year, and it's a similar occasion or similar state with most other currencies. So if you were to take a big fat average, the global currency supply is increasing 25% per year. This is freaking insane. That means the pounds in your pocket is devaluing 25% per year, which is why I don't get out of bed for anything that makes 25. Really, I don't do anything that makes less than 50% ROI per year. So the fact that they're going to keep on printing means it's only going to, that extra capital, the currency sloshing around the world, is simply going to be absorbed by assets. Okay, now not equally. So typically, it all goes into stocks. So if you look at the stock market, it's all ridiculous rallying and all-time highs simply because of all the stim pumping that's been going on. It's also been absorbed in the stock market, but also crypto as well, I would say, to a degree. And it will just continue. So yes, I think by 2030 we'll hit $10 million Bitcoin pretty easily, but the purchasing power of that will be akin to $1 million Bitcoin, simply because they're just printing it out their ass. Now, when you combine this monopoly money that's just being printed into oblivion, and you combine that with Bitcoin's tokenomics, it's insane. In my opinion, you're absolutely batshit Fruit Loop crazy if you're harboring your wealth in the pound or the dollar. Have you not learned from Argentina or Venezuela or any of the other the big countries that have gone through a currency crisis? You're nuts if you harbor your wealth in the pound or the dollar. And yeah, in fact, just learn about Argentina and Venezuela. It's going to happen in the UK and the US. Promise you. 2,400 years of very well-documented financial history is proving this to us. But everyone's just going to put their head in the sand, thumb in bum, mind in neutral, and ignore it. And Bitcoin is hard money. I've said this previously that no amount of innovation will change Bitcoin's tokenomics. No amount of space exploration will change Bitcoin's tokenomics, whereas gold could be destroyed. If Elon just brings back an asteroid laced with gold, all of a sudden the gold supply, the gold price will crash. You can't do this with Bitcoin. It will always ever be a max of 21 million. And in our lifetimes, we'll only see 95, 97% of of the supply. It's already out there pretty much. So the 18, 19 million Bitcoin that we have out there right now, that's it. That's what we've got to play with. And then, so this is the only point I need to make. I'm just going to go bit by bit. Sorry, I should have spaced this out. But if you look down here, Internet 2.0. So the internet when the original internet emerged properly in the late 1990s, this was simply a network of information dissemination. So information distribution and dissemination. So you could send data packets across the world pretty damn fast. So it's the internet of data. Well, crypto is simply is Internet 2.0. It's not only an internet of data, but it's also the internet of wealth. So, as I said, I think the beginning of any new technological revolution is indistinguishable from a bubble. So, just like you had or everyone saying, "Oh, it's a bubble for the internet" when it came around in the 90s and the 2000s. Well, yeah, there were companies which were bubbly. There were companies which were scams, most of them, etc. But what remained after all the bubbles popped and the scams died? It was the core. It was the core tech that survived. The internet survived. So you have to look at this like it's a brand new virgin territory that's been discovered, like the Europeans discovering the Americas, etc. And so it's a massive land rush. And that's what crypto is. We've just found a whole new world, and we're going to build on it. So yeah, all the cryptos we're playing with right now probably won't be around, or a lot of them will subside, but Bitcoin will still be there. So it's the Internet 2.0. Bitcoin, let's just focus on Bitcoin here. It's a foreign currency and a foreign bank for everyone. Literally, it's you can have personal sovereign, monetary sovereignty by owning Bitcoin with no third-party counter risk. Whereas your money in a bank account, there's huge amounts of third-party counterparty risk. And so I think the main benefits of crypto are not for the developed world; it's for the developing world. There's roughly 4 billion people that don't have a bank account, and they won't get a bank account because they need an address. They need all sorts of stuff. You just need to go to Nigeria and look at, or just parts of Africa. The money, the currency isn't like notes and stuff. It's all done by text messaging. Just check out the M-Pesa. Oh shit, I forgot. I'm just going to double check. Was it Nigerian oh God's sake, M-Pesa? One sec. No, I can't remember. So it's like an SMS currency system, which is absolutely fascinating. But yeah, it's a bank for, it's the M-Pesa. Yeah, so it's a foreign bank for everyone, and so anyone that's fleeing oppression, they're just going to go to Bitcoin. Just check out my YouTube video where I talk about the world's worst shitcoin, and I really talk about Argentina there. So the supply is dwindling. So yes, we have fixed supply, and yes, we've got 900 Bitcoin being mined every day. So technically the supply is increasing, but when you compare it to everything else, it's a disinflationary or / deflationary supply. But the supply is also dwindling because of bag holders. So not only have we lost roughly 4 million Bitcoin from just typos and stuff. I mean, in 2016, 2017, I lost 15 Bitcoin from a typo. And I'm not the only one there. There's so many people that have lost it. So there's roughly, call it 2 to 4 million Bitcoin that have been lost forever. You then have the hardcore hodlers, the people that will buy and never ever sell. Bitcoin Jesus is a prime example. That's Michael Saylor, by the way. Who, by the way, has just bought another $480 million worth. I think he owns over 100,000 Bitcoin now. You have Grayscale investments that have $35 billion worth of crypto. They're not going to sell. And the charts will prove that, and you'll see that in a minute. So you have all these hardcore hodlers. They're not going to sell. And you didn't have these massive whales like Michael Saylor back in 2017. And he's categorically said he will never, ever sell. And I mean, he's not the only ones. So basically, we've got this tsunami of cash flow incoming into the crypto sector, and it's going to be squeezing through teeny weeny little doors, i.e. the crypto doors, and also Ethereum, Cardano, and all that lot. And the demand is roaring. Again, when we look at the on-chain data, we're going to see this. Network effect. The only real value crypto has is network effect. I've talked about this, again, endlessly. That is the value of the crypto. That is the value of the internet, full stop. If you had 2 people using the internet, it wouldn't be very valuable. If you have 2 billion people using the internet, it's very valuable. And when you look at the growth, so the user base growth of the internet and crypto, we are seeing a very similar adoption curves as the internet did back in the late 1990s. So network effect is still booming. And until that goes down, all of this is valid. Banks, billionaires, funds, and countries are playing game theory. So they're ploughing into this space, but there's also vast amounts of banks, billionaires, and countries that haven't touched crypto yet, and that's simply because it's a minnow in the whole market. In the grand scheme of things, it's a $0.7 trillion market, whereas stocks is 80 trillion, bonds is 100 trillion. It's not even on the radar of some people. And you'll be surprised how many very smart people still stick up their nose to Bitcoin. Like, oh yeah, it's that scammy internet magic money thing. But game theory will come true. And what you'll see is that eventually all these big boys and girls will be like, oh shit, okay, this is here to stay. Everyone's plowing into this. I need to get in now before, my other billionaire mate gets in or another bank tries to get in, etc. And so they're going to FOMO in. And I know a billionaire who tried to buy, what was it? He wanted to buy up to $1 billion of Bitcoin back in 2017, and I was trying to broker it for him, but he wouldn't buy anything without a 7% discount. And back then I was like, mate, you're not going to get a 7% discount. No one in their right mind would sell you this vast amount of Bitcoin with a 7% discount. Guess what? He didn't get in. He hasn't since spoken to me, probably because I was correct. And he's probably FOMO'd in by now. So, yeah, game theory is going to come in. But also, when I'm talking about game theory, some people will be like, okay, well, Bitcoin's had its thing. The Bitcoin's already gone up X amount of, prices. It's already rallied. And so a lot of banks, billionaires, funds and countries will go, oh, actually, there's a lot more upside potential if I were to jump all in on Cardano, Polkadot, Ethereum. So what you'll see is that your Bitcoin will still have people plowing into it, but then I think people probably try and get more alpha, more potential ROI by playing the smart contract platform race. So yeah, that this is the first truly open asset ever. So because Bitcoin is on a blockchain, everything is visible. Everything. Nothing goes without being logged. Which is why whenever I see on the news that, criminals love it. You've got to be a freaking moron to do any form of illegal activity using Bitcoin. Yeah, you're a freaking moron and you will be caught. I would say over 99% of all criminal activity that is transacted via Bitcoin, they're caught. I think it's probably another reason why the media the police or the official or the governments like to portray, Bitcoin and criminals together, because anyone that uses Bitcoin is caught. You can't hide it. You will just get caught the second you try and liquidate it or, crystallize it into a fiat currency. It's as Tom says here, it's the most traceable money in history. Yeah, everything's open. But because this is so open, we can have some insanely accurate analytics now. And that's basically called on-chain analytics. By the way, I'm looking at the chat box right now, and there are a bunch of scammers in this chat box. Alba Butler on Facebook saying, so happy, but basically there are people copying my name and saying, hey, send me Bitcoin and I'll send you more money back. So I'm going to call this dickhead out here. Alba Butler said, I'm so happy that I participated in this. I participated with 0.03 Bitcoin. Now I have 0.09 Bitcoin in my wallet. Thank you for this amazing opportunity. Again, surely by now you should know that you will never get more Bitcoin by sending Bitcoin to someone. It's just a scam. So block user on Facebook and add to block list. Sweet. Okay. Sorry, I'm being a bit aggressive. I don't mean to be. But yeah, so because this is truly open, analysis is a lot more accurate as an on-chain analysis than to a stock or to whatever. DeFi is exploding. I would say DeFi is exploding faster than the crypto space as a whole. So DeFi is decentralized finance. So basically, take the existing financial system, you can cryptify all of that. You can literally every single part of it, insurance, liquidity, loans, debt, like every part of finance can be and will be cryptified. So it's exploding. Just look at the amount of money pouring just into DeFi. It's insane. Fractionalization. So I don't hear many people talking about this, but this is, I think, the secret superpower. Oh my God, another spammer. Theopolis Henron, delete, ban, stop. I don't know how you do it. People are literally just stealing all my pictures, creating a brand new Facebook profile with my name, and they'll probably omit a space or type a letter differently, and like with a capital or whatever. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, fractionalization. So I think this is the secret superpower of DeFi. So what fractionalization means is that you will be able to tokenize anything. If I wanted to tokenize this pen, I could do it with DeFi. Although the infrastructure isn't there quite yet, it will be. So you will be able to fractionalize your house. Instead of selling your house as one big lumpy transaction that will take months to do and people can leave at the last minute and there's a 3 to 6 month completion times, you can instead chop up or fractionalize your house into 1,000 units, and then you can sell all of those units. And so, 1,000 different people could own your house, or, a handful of people. And this is going to be better for business. So, a local coffee shop could fractionalize the new coffee machine that they want to acquire. And so they crowdfund it. And then, 100 people have crowdfunded this new coffee machine. And it'll all be connected to like a smart contract. And all of the business metrics will be put in. So, if there's £1 profit per cup of coffee poured from this new machine, the investors will be paid real time, not per day, per cup of coffee, until it's all paid off, yada, yada, yada. So, business loaning, lending, etc. I really should get a moderator. The amount of scammers on this thread are insane. Fractionalization will be great. You can fractionalize anything. Self-liquidating loans. Again, I made another video on that. Where what I mean by self-liquidating loan is that if you were to stump up, say, Ether as your collateral, you basically borrow a percentage of your collateral. So you pop up. Steve said, "Just make me your moderator." Okay, how do I do that, mate? I'm just going to pause here. I'm going to make Steve the moderator. How do I do that, buddy? Captions, no. I've no idea. Can I do that in stream? Can I check WhatsApp? Okay, here we go. Stand by. Sorry, folks. When you start a stream, it allows you. Oh. Okay, so I'm midstream. Okay, for the next ones. Right. Self-liquidating loans. So if the value of your collateral keeps on growing, your loan basically liquidates itself. So you could borrow half. I've made some videos, but this is going to be completely alien for some people. Let's say you stump up 100k worth of Ether into Aave, like a crypto lending platform, and you borrow 50% of that. So you then borrow 50k worth of a stable coin, USDC, DAI, whatever. Your LTV, your loan to value, is 50%. But the thing is, if Ether then 10x's, so let's say Ether goes from, $2,000 now to $20,000 over the next 5-10 years, well, what's then happened is that your LTV is then going to massively diminish down to 5%. So you'll be able to pay off your loan with a fraction of what you stumped up with. And it's going to be even better, especially if you take that 50k and put it back into crypto. So self-liquidating loans are the future. Also, a bit of a side tangent to that. A lot of people like getting in property because they can borrow off of it at very cheap rates. A lot of people say, "Oh, your house is your own personal bank because you can remortgage, pay 1%, 2%, 3%, etc." Well, give it a few years, crypto will be exactly that. So not only will your cryptos most likely appreciate way faster than any house will, you'll be able to borrow off of it at very cheap rates. So at the moment, it's you can do it really easily with Ether and Bitcoin, but give it a while. So other blue chip cryptos you'll be able to stump up as collateral. So the Internet of Everything is its own revolution in itself. So loads of smart devices all connected to each other, etc. And with all these smart devices, there are going to be trillions of transactions, like nano transactions, and the existing financial infrastructure can't cope with that. Visa could never cope with that, whereas crypto can. You'd need a DAG, a directed acyclic graph type tech, so something similar to IOTA's Tangle, In fact, IOTA is geared up perfectly for the Internet of Everything, Internet of Things, Internet of Everything. Or hell, like a block lattice that Nano uses, or Hashgraph, or something like that. So yeah, so Internet of Everything, so this in itself would help propel crypto, grow the network effect. There's a massive green revolution going on. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. It's part of the World Economic Forum's agenda, and it's going to be rammed down our throats. Now, a lot of it, that's another topic, but it's going to happen. Well, what is the greenest financial system on the planet right now? It's Bitcoin. Ignoring all of the FUD out there, Bitcoin is the greenest current financial system on the planet. If you look like the energy consumption of Bitcoin doesn't even come close to help even gold mining. Gold mining is still way more energy intensive and carbon. Oh god, I've got brain fog today. It's my early morning. Fridays and Saturdays, I wake up at 5 a.m. to sort out the kids because they wake up like literally the second some sunlight comes in the window, and we've got blackout light. I don't know. Anyway, so so long story short, the existing financial infrastructure is way more energy intensive than Bitcoin, and as time progresses, crypto or Bitcoin itself is going to get greener and greener and greener. So there's a bit of a misconception here. At the moment, roughly 40% of all energy used by Bitcoin mining is green, so renewable energy sources. And the stat of 76, 78% means, because I've seen a lot of people, and myself included, I made this mistake originally. I originally said 78% of Bitcoin mining is done by renewable energy. It is incorrect. The actual fact here is roughly 78% of Bitcoin miners use renewable energy. Okay, so most Bitcoin miners use renewable energy for mining, but that doesn't mean the total amount of Bitcoin mining energy is renewable. So what we're seeing, especially if you look in China at the moment, in fact, I'll talk about the Chinese thing in a minute. But yeah, green revolution, Bitcoin will eventually be fully 100% renewable energy. So that's that. Replacement of gold. I mean, gold has a lot of pros and a lot of cons. Well, Bitcoin has all of the gold's pros and very few of the cons. So it's going to eat up that whole $10 trillion market share at the very least. I mean, hell, I've been buying gold and silver since 2009. In fact, I'll probably do this every time I talk about silver, I get out my silver coin. It's like a habit. Unless my kids have... No, they haven't. Yeah. My first Silver Eagle, 2009. Makes a lovely silver sound when you ping it. But I've got a whole bunch of gold and silver I'm trying to sell right now, and I'm struggling. It's so freaking illiquid. You don't get that with Bitcoin. So, okay, less Chinese control. So we had the Chinese FUD, and there's been some teeth behind the FUD. The whole region of Sichuan in China, they've basically just closed all of the mining farms there. Which is why the hash rate has just dropped off a cliff. But this is great. This is absolutely fantastic news. One of the things I've always said, I've wrote it in the crypto book, that China has an immense leverage over Bitcoin. Because if they really wanted to kill Bitcoin, they would simply shut down every Bitcoin mining farm in China, and that would kill the hash rate. Well, they've sort of done, well, they haven't done it properly, but they've done a little bit. So they closed down a whole province of Bitcoin mining. Hence, the hash rate just dropped off. But what this now means is that it's like you're pruning a flower. You're just chopping off a bunch of arms, petals, or whatever to prune it. So now what's happening is that the hash rate from China is now just buggered off. It's disappeared. And so the rest of the world will now start to pick up the slack. And Western mining is way greener in terms of energy consumption than Chinese mining. So a lot of that hash rate is probably most likely going to move to the West, like America, Iceland, Hawaii, stuff like that. So it's going to help Bitcoin be greener because a lot of the Chinese miners were using coal. This is the whole thing that Elon was talking about. It now then makes Bitcoin more decentralized because roughly 60% of all the Bitcoin hash rate was in China. So now it's making it even more decentralized. So it's even safer as a network, even though this drop in hash rate hasn't affected the safety of Bitcoin at all. And so now it means China has less leverage over Bitcoin. So this is great. This is absolutely this is news to my ears. I freaking love this crash right now. So this is all the things I could write in about 5 minutes, and I'm sure I could go on. So let's look at on-chain analysis very quickly. So first of all, on-chain. Let's look at here we go. Favorite charts. Let's go to CryptoQuant. So I suddenly got a little account with CryptoQuant, and it's cool. I've been looking at Glassnode, but Glassnode is pretty cheeky because even though I'm paying money, like I don't know, 300 quid a year for Glassnode, some of the stats they block the time frame. So like here, if I wanted to see all Bitcoin addresses with over $10,000 worth of, or $10,000, it only shows me up to mid 2020, bastards. So if I wanted to see the rest, I'd have to pay like 700 quid a month. Not going to do that. Whereas CryptoQuant, much better. By the way, I have no affiliate links. I don't make any money from CryptoQuant. I just want to check this is working. I've just got an internet issue here. Shitty death. Are you still here? 1 second. Feedback. Yep, you're still going. Nice. So let's look at one by one. So this one is all exchange reserves. Okay, so let's move this into a bigger chart. So as it says here, the amount of Bitcoin held in all exchanges wallets. So the number increase means an increase in Bitcoin supply for selling. So what this whenever you see this go up, so this red line here, that means people are moving crypto from their cold wallets into the exchange wallets. Now, why would they do that? They would do that because they're about to sell. So when you see an increase of all exchange reserves, that means a sell is incoming. So as we see over here, it's dropping off precipitously, and therefore it then because everyone's storing, and therefore the circulating supply sort of diminishes, and therefore price goes up. But then we start seeing an increase in all exchange reserves go up. So this is somewhat of a leading indicator that we're going to see a bit of a falling here. Now, this hasn't gone back down yet, so we're not out of the woods. A lot of people going, hey, it's moon, baby, moon. Nah, not yet. So that's that one. So then, if I move it around this way, we then have all exchange net flow. So this is the same sort of chart, but it's showing you the difference. So the bottom line here is showing the amount of money leaving the exchanges, and the top one is going out. So, this one is the amount of money, Bitcoin coming in. So, long story short, the way to decipher this is that whenever you see the amount, like a spiking down, so the amount of Bitcoin leaving all the exchanges' wallets, this is bullish. So what we had here very recently was a whole bunch of people to the tune of roughly 38,000 Bitcoins worth left exchange wallets. This is bullish. And so we had basically loads of people made their profits. So they sold, they bought back in, they made their profits. Now they've taken a lot of that and they've put it back to their own wallets. So this is bullish here. If you then, and then we scroll down, then we've got the derivative. Okay, let's look at this one. So this graph shows you the derivative exchange net flow. Okay, so as it says here, the difference between Bitcoin flowing into and out of derivative exchange wallets. Now, you got to look at this a different way. Understand that derivative trading is people basically using leverage to go long or go short. Now, historically, whenever in fact, let's get TradingView out. I'll show you. In fact, no, let's get Data Mesh out. This is even better. So 360 days. So this is Bitcoin, and the green line is showing you the amount of levered longs, and the red line is showing you levered shorts. So historically, there's just way more people going long with leverage on Bitcoin, okay? And so when you have money going into exchange wallets, into the derivative exchange wallets, that means it's bullish because most people, because the net position is net long for Bitcoin leverage. Therefore, when you have an influx of money coming in, so these bars going out, these bars being positive, that means there's more money flowing into the derivative accounts. Therefore, more people go net long, and we're seeing this in real time. So if I open up the levered shizzle, where is it? Look at this. Oh man, let's get out of the log. Let's get back to the daily chart. Here we go. So the amount of levered longs is an all-time high now, which is absolutely amazing. Whereas look at the levered shorts. Levered shorts have shot down. I mean, as of today, I mean, literally in the last hour, this has gone up, I think, off the top of my head. Yeah, in the last couple of hours, levered shorts have gone up, which means, guess what? Some people are thinking that there's another move down on crypto, and so people are now starting to short it. But overall, we've had a massive sell-off in the shorts, which is why I accurately forecasted that bounce. So when we look at the Bitcoin bounce, I put it even on Twitter, when Bitcoin is shooting down to 28, 29,000, everyone's like, oh no, we're going to see 20,000. I was like, no, we're going to see a bounce. And the bounce happened. It shot back up to 36,000 almost. So yeah, but let's get back to, so we've got the derivative thing. So this is good. More derivatives coming in here. We then look at, I don't need to expand this one, valuation metric for Bitcoin network using daily active addresses and Metcalfe's law. So Metcalfe's law, very similar. So it's basically the networking effect that I explained. Guess what? It's still going up. An upwards trend in this means it's bullish for crypto. We then look at BlockFi. So BlockFi is a big old, I would say a fund. And so this shows you the amount of Bitcoin held in BlockFi wallets. So if we do this, so this is interesting because the chart that we're seeing with the BlockFi is very different to from Gemini or Grayscale. So they're obviously playing around with this. So if we take this amount here, so amount of Bitcoin held in BlockFi wallets is going up and up and up, price is going up, but then they're taking profits. So, or not necessarily profits, but they could be moving it around. They can move it to other wallets. So we don't know if they're selling it or they're just moving it to a cold wallet or a different wallet. But as you can see here, massive outflows from the BlockFi wallets here, and then the market crash up. So I wouldn't say this is. It's hard to. This isn't, I would say, a leading indicator. It's a sort of a that's interesting type indicator. Again, as we can see here, the amount of inflow addresses is going down, as we've seen here. And what is the net flow at the moment? The net flow is for just BlockFi, which is a pretty big firm. It's pretty flat. So yeah, doesn't really say much. So that's that one. I'm going to start deleting these charts so I don't get too confused. Whereas Grayscale, as I said, they've got over 35 billion. We can sort of work this out. They acquire and then they very rarely sell. We can see it's dipped off slightly, but even right now, let's work that out. So they've got 651. Oh my god. So 650,000 times, what was it, 34,000? I can't work out that number. I think it's something like $22 billion or something, or more. So yeah, anyway, they're flat. They're not selling, which is good. That's bullish. If we then look at, just scrolling down a bit more, look at the hash rate. Okay, so the hash rate has dropped off, but that's only because of China. Now, I have said if hash rate were to ever then drop massively, I would then be concerned. Well, I was slightly concerned for a bit because I started seeing the hash rate really drop. If we were to draw like a trend line, it's bust through the trend line. So basically all eyes are on the hash rate now. We need to see if the rest of the world over the next 3 months picks up the hash rate. So there's always going to be a big old drop off in hash rate. But if a whole bunch of miners are just screwed. So that's that one. So not too worried at the moment. Active address count. So this is total number of unique addresses. It has dropped a bit. Now, don't forget, this is a little bit misleading because, yes, it's gone down a bit, but you have to understand that the biggest proportion of active wallets right now are from new investors. Okay, so what I call tourists. So the tourists will come because they see Bitcoin at $60,000. They're like, woohoo! I'm going to get in before 100. They all buy in. They buy like, I don't know, $100 worth of Bitcoin. You know, it's normally less than $1,000 worth of crypto. And then the market halves. They go, holy shit, this was a bad choice. And then they exit. So they come and they go. They're Bitcoin tourists. They're not the locals. I'm a Bitcoin local. Ironic, seeing as I don't own Bitcoin. But the locals don't sell. If you look at Grayscale, Bitcoin Jesus, they don't sell. So this drop here is simply weak hands fleeing the market, which is great. You don't want the weak hands. Weak hands can bugger off. They can go and play with Dogecoin. So yeah, there we go. So that's that. All exchange reserves. So this is just for ETH. Okay, so this one. Yeah, I'm not too. I don't know why I've favorited that one. I'm not looking at ETH too much. I know that ETH is sort of a market leader for the alts. Pretty much whatever you see on the ETH chart is basically then replicated across all of the alts. So I guess it's sort of a market leader. This one's more interesting. That if you look at all exchange net flow, so just for ETH, not Bitcoin. Look at this. Net flow is increasing. So this is bearish. Remember, people move crypto to the exchange wallets so they can sell it most typically, and more ether is being moved to the wallet at the moment. I mean, it has dropped off, but yeah, I wouldn't take all of these charts with a little bit of like interesting. You should never make your crypto decision based on one chart. You take the whole picture. So far, the whole picture is it's bullish in the long run. Short term is dodgy. That's basically, long story short. Short term is dodgy. What else? This is interesting, however. Total value staked. Remember, 2.0 is coming out, so ETH 2.0. We don't know when it's coming. But to run a node, you need 32 ether. And so look at this. The amount of ether being staked. And once you stake ether right now, you're locked in until 2.0 comes out. So you could be locked in for the next 2 years. No one knows. But it's growing. So this helps for network effect. So this is very bullish, irrespective of the ether price down here. So that's that one. Check this one out. This is, if you wanted to look at network effect for ether especially, number of accounts who deposited over 32 ether to deposit contract. Here we go. Boom. It's just rallying very hard since May 2021. So this is very, very bullish. Number of new depositors, yeah, that's just an oscillator pretty much. Grayscale hasn't really dumped any of their holdings. Any other useful ones? So that's that. And then I find this interesting as well. So looking at the amount of Bitcoin wallets with non-zero balance. So it means basically they've got at least a penny's worth of Bitcoin, and it's just growing exponentially. And then if we look at all of the sort of the balances, like from 1 Bitcoin or less, it has drooped a little bit, simply because the tourists are buggering off. But the interesting thing is, I thought if we just skip to wallets with more than 10,000 Bitcoin, it has dropped quite a lot. So I think this corresponds with the other graphs that I've showed you, where people are moving huge amounts of Bitcoin to the exchange wallets. And also people profit taking. So yeah, but we've got to keep an eye on this. As I said, short term, bit dodgy at the moment. I've recently done a sidestep, and it's a higher risk sidestep than I would usually do. So that's the on-chain stuff in a nutshell. And I'll just quickly, not get rid of that one because I'll delete the whole stream. Let's get TradingView up. So where are we? First of all, let's look at stock to flow. We're still here. Remember, we normally hit the peak in December. The last 2 or 3 bull cycle peaks have been in December. It's roughly 800 days until the next halving. So I would say 800 to 900 days until the next halving. And the next halving is March 2024. So let's just do a time calculator. So if we were to put in... Sorry, let's put date calculator. Date calculator. So if we go to 2024, and it's going to be roughly May 2024. I don't know, let's put the 20th of May 2024, and we subtract, call it 800 days from that. That gives us 12th of March 2022, and then 900 days is 2nd of December. Yeah. So what this is basically saying, we're going to hit a peak roughly December to March 2022. I would say December. So yeah, we're still in this, and look, the trajectory is still up. This is a log chart, by the way, so it's still in exponential growth. So that's that, and then again, when you look at where we are in the logarithmic regression band, this is just a double peak. Look at the 2013 one. We had a very fast zoom up, and then we had a massive sell-off, and it took a while to recover. And then, like what we always see with Bitcoin, is that 80% of the move happens in the last 20% of the time. People forget that all the time. People are fleeing Bitcoin right now, which is just stupid in my opinion. So, so what's happening there is likely going to happen here. Remember, the last 20% of the time, 80% of the move will happen. So, yeah. And also on the weekly chart, we've got a bit of a low test here. Beautiful low test. So that is that. What I've done recently, or as of this morning, if we get rid of these indicators, remove. Here we go. Is it off the log? Regular. Yeah. Okay. So I said in my Telegram group, I think yesterday, that we've got a bit of a dead cat bounce, or a potential dead cat bounce. I can't remember where the post is. Something around here. I can't remember. Yeah, so this was yesterday? I said we'd see a very quick bounce here from 30k level, which is what we've done, but please be cautious here. We're nowhere near out of the woods yet, and there's a very real possibility of a dead cat bounce back down. Maybe even a bit of a rising compression on the 4-hour chart. I'm doing nothing in my portfolio for now. Then fast forward to today, I've sidestepped a whole bunch of things. So I'm not going to say which ones and when we're going to get in. That's for my students. But if we were just to have a look at, say, Polkadot on the 4-hour chart, look, we have a textbook rising compression in a falling market. And then we have, boom. And so, like, for example, Polkadot, I got out this morning at about 16.15. It's now 15. In fact, I may have already been filled. I think my entry, I'll share it with, for Dot. Where have I got in on Dot? Dot got filled. Sweet. Well, that is music to my ears. I've made an extra 150 odd Dot. Yeah. So from sidestepping Dot this morning up here and getting back in sort of around $15, I've got an extra 150 Dot, all for free. So, the instant value of that. So 150. It's going to be roughly. I could work it out more precisely. So 150 times 1531. So I've got $2,300 worth of free Dot today, but that 150 Dot, I mean, I see Polkadot being at $100 easy. So that trade today in the future could easily be a 15k trade. So yeah, and I've done that across the board. So when you look at loads of others, there's rising compressions, falling, and like if you had to look at Kusama right now, not only are we not just Kusama, same with most other things, we're seeing the rising compression where the market has god damn it, click, the market's now breaking out. But what is forming right now? I know I got some traders here. In fact, for my traders, who knows what, tell me right now in the chat, what pattern am I seeing right now, which is a high probability pattern? I can see at least 15 of my students here right now. So come on. What am I looking at right now, which is getting me excited? I'm just going to wait for the 20-second lag that Facebook and YouTube have. Yep, we've got the compression, Alex. That's now playing out. But what is that compression now creating? And this normally happens. This is a textbook move. Double top, Chris Huss. Spot on, mate. So what we're seeing now on Kusama is this. We've had the compression, but now it's created this double top. We've got the neckline here. And so we should see a move to the downside. So what is the peak? So it's got roughly two. So it's basically the distance. So if we call that 215 to where's the neckline? Roughly 190. So that's $25. So we should see a rough $25 drop from 190. So 165. We're looking. Oh yeah, base compression roughly around here. So we should see a fall to sort of 165, 170 level, which is also the base structure of this compression. Whenever you see a rising compression in a falling market, that's not the best line. Market has a high probability to hit base structure, and that is base structure, which happens to be 165. So yeah, do I have my Kusama right now? I need to make sure that I don't have Kusama. Shit, I need to. That's one of the things I didn't sell. One sec. I'm just going to adjust my Kusama. Stand by. So yeah, this looks a bit reckless, but I'm selling all Kusama right now. I should have done this morning. The problem is I had two screaming kids this morning who seemed to just woke up hyperactive. And there was me that had 4 hours sleep. And and I had to do the school run as well. And I was trying to sell all my portfolio whilst feeding them and dressing them and brushing their teeth and all that sort of stuff. So I completely forgot. I sold out most of my bigger positions, but I forgot Kusama. Damn it. So I'm selling now. It's not too late. And I'm going to get in at a pretty safe price of 100 and call it 171.21. 171.21. I like to not be too greedy. So let's get in. Limit 171.21. 100% buy. Cool. Right, I'm just going to text this out. Stand by. Right, I'm with you. Back in the room. So, yeah. So we're not out of the woods yet. So, what else was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Zcash, same thing. What are we seeing here? Shit. Damn it. Sorry. Just realised I haven't sold my Zcash either. Am I going to end up in jail like Metcalfe for manipulating prices by doing this in public? I doubt it. He was so offed, by the way. He was so killed. It was ridiculous. So I'm selling Zcash. And I'm putting in the limit buy. So where's that going to drop down to? So we've got roughly the neckline around 105 to sort of, yeah, so it's about a $10. 105.95. Yeah, I'm probably put sort of 90. Yeah, screw it. 96.21. So 96.21. Buying. Cool. So that's Zcash. And the other one, part of my privacy coins is Monero. God damn. Look at that one. Yeah, I mean that's really high probability of about a 191. Probably most likely back to whoopsie daisy. Back to this trend line down here. What is the base trend line of Monero? It's this massive one down here. Therefore, and it reacted off this base trend line a couple of times, or quite a lot actually in the past. It bounced beautifully off this level, and therefore we're going to get a retest. You nearly always have a retest, but I'm not greedy. I like a high probability re-entry, so I tend to not risk it for a biscuit. So I'm going to get back in at 191.21. So, what was it? I'm looking at the wrong one here. XMR. Selling Monero. Entry buy at what did I say? 191.21. Sweetness. Done. Right, so that's that. This was my 30 minutes of crypto update. Oh, I'm so shit with timekeeping. Tom, you should take like spread like a sweepstake. You'd make a fortune on being, on how reliably bad I am at timekeeping. So, yeah. Oh, this is beautiful. A lot of my positions that the compressions are now playing out. I love it. 4 babies, 4. Gas, yeah. I haven't exited gas. Shit, I should. Sorry, I'll do one more. I just want to exit my gas. Not through my ass though. 1 second. I'm just gonna sell. So selling all of my gas into Bitcoin because that's what you can do on Binance, and then I'm gonna sell all of my Bitcoin to USDT. So we're gonna buy. So I'm gonna sell all Bitcoin. There we go. Done. Right. I think that's it for crypto. I know we've got a whole bunch of questions, but I did want to go through. I'll do some quick questions, okay? Unfortunately, we don't have time for all of them. Dadpreneur lost 6 Bitcoin in 2017. Join the club. Reese said, what are your thoughts on the Binance card? Is a crypto card something worth getting? Yeah, I can't wait to get the Gemini one. So here's a really cool concept. So I think the last time I checked, Gemini card gives up to 2% cash back, I think. But in Bitcoin. That's the key thing. Not in fiat. You get the cash back in Bitcoin. So whenever you're getting a crypto card like this, make sure whenever you oh, come on, give me some prices. Trading, funding, how do I reduce? No. I'll just talk about the concept more than just finding out what it is. So whenever you're getting a crypto card, make sure you get the cash back in Bitcoin or Ether or something else like that. So here we go. Let's say it's 2% cash back, and you go out and buy a TV. I don't know. People buy TVs, I guess. And the TV, I don't know, let's just say it's $200. And so you'll get 2% cash back from that, which is, because I'm shit at math, I'm guessing that's 40 quid. Sorry. I don't know. 200 divided by 100 is 1%. 4 quid. Yeah, so I can't believe I just did 2 times 2 on live air. So I'd get 4 quid back. Okay, or no, wait a minute, it's $4 back, but in the form of Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, let's just for shits and giggles say is $30,000. Now, what this means is if we were to work this out in terms of what is 4 divided by, what is the actual price? Come on, let's be a bit more accurate instead of being a bit of a slob. What is the price of Bitcoin? What is the price? 33,300. So 33,300. So therefore, right now, if you did this on this card, 4 divided by 33,300 means you will get. Oh man, give me in zeros. Okay, it's going to be like 0.0000 of a Bitcoin. However, you got $4. Now, let's say Bitcoin grows like over the next 5 years. Let's say it hits $1 million. Okay, from where I think we're going to hit $1 million Bitcoin by 2026, easy, and $10 million by 2030, as I mentioned earlier. But let's just say it gets to $1 million over the next 5 years. Well, what is that an increase of? So it is roughly $1 million. Divided by 33,300. It's a 30x from here. Does that make sense? Have I done that? Is that a 30x? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Therefore, your 30x of $4, what is 30 times 4? 120. Therefore, you'll end up with 120 worth of Bitcoin, which is almost the price of your TV. So if you start basically doing all of your grocery shopping, all of your shopping on your Bitcoin cashback card, at some point in the future, if I'm correct, and Bitcoin goes to say $10 million, I mean, if hell, say it goes to $10 million, all of the Bitcoin cashback will end up being more than the money that you've spent in the past. I mean, hell, if I got basically everything I've ever bought in the past back to me, geez, that'd be a huge amount. So that's why I like crypto cards. Russ said, thoughts on Theta? I love Theta. It's great. Want to do crime? Try Monero. At least that's what my mate Criminal Chris does. Fair enough. Steve says, I'm getting 100% APY on Cake right now. Love DeFi. Yeah, just be careful. Be careful with the crazy ROIs. It won't last, mate. It will not last. Thomas Hugh Wallace, how are REITs different from fractionalizing your house? Thanks in advance. Well, REITs are really out there for the bigger boys and girls, not the average Joe. At the moment, if you want to sell your house, you can't really REIT up your house. It's hard. So much legal stuff done. Eventually, you'll be able to fractionalize your house in the click of buttons. So, right. So that's that. I think this is it. Jack Alex Stewart said, what about property market right now? Will it crash? I don't know. The currency supply is just growing exponentially, and so it's just going to be sucked up by stocks and property. So, and the property is all-time high. I mean, look at the house price to earnings ratio is just nuts in some cities of the world, like London. It's just completely insane. Just remember, like, we millennials, I'm a millennial, I hate the millennials and Gen Z. It's ironic. I'm a millennial, but I hate millennials. And I hate Gen Zs. Basically, anyone that is an entitled snowflake can piss off. I just hate that mentality where, everything, you're entitled to everything. Oh, it's not right, or it's not fair. Well, life isn't fair. We need to grow up and work hard and get out of your whatever hole you're in. But looking where we are right now, we have the stock market all-time high. We have stock price, property prices all-time highs, bonds all-time highs, yields for freaking everything is down. We're left with debt coming out of our yin-yangs. So, it's not good. However, we got one massive arc. I can't draw an arc. It's probably like this. Noah's inside somewhere. And this arc is literally Bitcoin. The single thing that can get you out of all of this shit is crypto. And it's also the thing that will help make you rather wealthy if you just hodl. So yeah. Shell, so sorry for being a millennial. If you're a millennial that has good work ethic and you're not just a snowflake, then I like you. We'll get along. Yeah. Do you want to see no, that's another point. Let's end the crypto bit on a rather amusing thingy. And the rather amusing thingy right now is this. Maybe if I can get it up on my Google Pits, because it's on my phone, but you won't be able to see what's on my phone. Let's see if on another screen I can get up my photos. Here we go. So, the other day I had a haircut, and he said it's cool for me to share this, but my hairdresser has been cutting my hair since I was about 6 years old, and he's still there. And I just always go to my hairdresser. And in 2018, or basically from I don't know 2017 onwards, I've always been like, get into crypto. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And then after my haircut, he went to his notes and went, hey, Simon, guess what I found the other day? I was like, I don't know. He found this. So what happened is in 2018, late 2018, after a haircut, I'd finally said, look, mate, you can just put £1,000 into crypto, because we worked out that he could easily have put £1,000 into whatever. And he, in fact, 1 second. Yeah. Whoopsie. And I was like, look, just make it really simple. Go to this account, open up an account. By the way, it doesn't exist anymore. But I said, open up a crypto account, put GBP into it, the really basic way, buy Ethereum. Ethereum is about $135 at the moment. Wait until it drops to $90, buy it and sell it at $1,000. At $1,000 Ethereum. So £1,000. So $1,000. So £1,000 would have gotten roughly 13 ether, and he would have easily 13 ether times selling. And I said to exit at $1,000 ether. So 13 ether times $13,000. So his $1,000 would have turned into $13,000 had I listened to him. And by the way, if he did that and sold at $1,000 and said, "Hey, I've sold," I would have then said to buy back in on a dip. And guess what happened to the price? Gary, love that it's on the back of an HMRC envelope. Lol. And so I was like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing!" And I was like, "Did you buy any?" And he was like, "Nope." And then I went home and I was like, "Okay, well, what happened to this? Did Bitcoin actually hit that $90 in the end?" Sorry, I'm Ether. Sorry. Let's scroll backwards. Let's get to the daily chart. 2018 is around here. Where was it? March 2018? No. It was late 2018. Yeah, here it is. Oh yeah, I've already drawn an arrow. So 130. Oh no, I haven't. That was from something else. So in that note, I said Ether's 135. So $135 takes it around here. I said wait to get to $90. Was it $90? $90. And guess what? Very soon after that, it hit $90. Boom. There we go. It actually went all the way down to 82-ish. And then it rallied hard from $80, $90. Well, actually dipped back again. But then, rallied hard to 1,000. And then if he sold 1,000, he would have, then the may have been a rebuying in opportunity at some point or one of these dips. But anyway, I've got endless amounts of stories like that. So long story short, just freaking buy and hold crypto for the long run. That's it. Okay, so if you're here for crypto, you're going to get very, very, very bored now. I'm going to be doing a CRO critique, so conversion rate optimization for someone that's created a new business. So one of my students has created a new, subscription-based business and wanted to have a bit of feedback on his website. So I said I would like it, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to give you everyone a few seconds to bugger off if you don't want to hear non-crypto stuff, as I'm pretty sure most of you here just to hear crypto. Well, hope that's helped. Let's now find the actual URL. Where is it? Sorry, I'm just trying to log into my messages. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. He has created, I haven't actually looked at the website. This is going to be first for me. Dailies. Okay, let health be your wealth. Number one for nutrition, I'm confused already. Number one for nutrition, more than any other plant or animal-based food. Okay, so first of all, I'm confused by the headline, and I don't think I'm a stupid person. For nutrition, is there a comment? For me, more than any other plant or animal-based food. Sorry, mate. I just don't understand the headline. You need to rephrase that. However, good that you've got. I would move this. So the way the I would work best is you have your headline, then have your sub headline below this, and then shop now. Okay, so I don't even know what this is. Something about a food plant-based. What is sea moss? Okay, sea moss is a nutritionally potent seaweed algae found off the coast of the Caribbean parts of Europe. Cool. High grade, yada yada yada. What is it? Cool. Looks good. It's a clean website, mate. I do like it. I would put pictures here. Like at the moment, I know it's spread out, but it's a big block of text. And people, when seeing stuff like this, will just think, oh, these are testimonials and move on. So I'd reposition this better. So instead of having it blocked out like this, I would have one at a time. So nourishes the skin. So I'd have a big picture of silky baby bums or something. Maybe not baby bums, but you know what I mean. And then talking about this. Or even a picture of the human body and then an arrow pointing to the skin, and then it talks about this. Joint and bones, points to the knee, blah, blah, blah. So instead, it's just a big wall of text at the moment. This could just be a big human skeleton or human body that you scroll down. And then, so it's just a bit more alluring. Featured products. Okay. That looks horrible, but I don't know. Do you eat it? Snort it? I don't know. Bladder rack. Okay. So I'm an idiot in health stuff. I don't know what do you eat this? So yeah, you need shop now. So let's go to shop. Okay, first of all, a nice fast loading website. It's good. I like the e-commerce side of this. I don't know what plugin you're using, but it looks familiar, so that's good. Yeah, it's probably a Shopify plugin by the looks of it. That's cool. Full structure, naturally grown, Caribbean. Yeah. You really need to include how to use this. I have no idea. I have no idea about what size I need. Yeah. If anything, you could do like a filtering type thing. So on the homepage, instead of going to shop now, you ask some questions. Do you want to improve skin, health, or joints, etc.? And then when you click on either one, you'll be filtering. You can pixel, your web interactions, and then it'll show, what to do. About us. But you're not far, mate. It's a nice clean website. I'd have a picture of you, mate. Big smiley cheesy grin picture of yourself. And then talk about this. I see no video as well. You need video. You really need video. So is it Thrive? No. Thrive. No. What is it? What have I got downstairs? Supplements? No, there's something else. Oh, damn it. I take these supplements every day, but I can't even remember what the company is. But their website bowled me over. I can't remember what they are. No, it'll come to me. But yeah. You're not far off from it during... It's just too much text. That is just text overload. You just got to be really careful with text. FAQ. Again, your FAQ is an opportunity to make a 1-minute video explaining each one of the things. And again, light grey writing on a white website or a light website is a criminal sin. Never, ever, ever, ever have light grey writing. Your brain naturally switches off with light grey writing. So just change that a bit. But yeah, have just a quick 30-second video for all of these things. Cool. But yeah, nice one. Good effort, mate. Yeah, hope that helps. Right. Any last questions on the feed before we call it a day? Jack, can you microdose it? Yeah, Steve, I completely agree with all yours. Needs more attractive images. Yeah. Should have 10% exit pop offer or something. Yeah. Recipes and videos. Adam Kerrigan said, when I read that something I've never heard of has 1,001 health benefits, my bullshit detector goes off. I would want links to studies, etc. If you can't provide them, it's the latest snake oil, in my honest opinion. Yeah, cite some studies and, stuff like that. So that would help. There's good feedback, that. Yeah. Cool. Right. I think that's it for now. Sorry for not for going over my half an hour crypto sesh, but I think it helps. Well, it should. Yeah, and this is why this. I mean, if you just go back to these fundamentals, this is why I'm all in on crypto. I'd have more crypto if I could, but yeah, I've got temporary cash flow issues at the moment, so I can't put more into crypto. So, but yeah, right. Have a dandy weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday, because I think we've got a couple of interviews next week. So Monday, I'm into. Oh yeah, this is cool. So I was chatting with Ellie, because Ellie obviously is running My Fairy Pen Pal, which is cool. And she was like, it's really hard finding, first of all, female business owners, and second of all, successful female business owners, and third of all, successful female business owners that have sold a business. The few and far between. And so the moment she said that, I was like, I know someone. I'm sorry, folks. I know a successful female entrepreneur that has sold her business already. And so what we're going to do on Monday is I'm going to interview her. Her name is Jenny. She's a lovely lady. She's a full-time mum. But yeah, she recently sold her business that she ran with her brother. And yeah, it'll be really cool to interview her and see her take on everything. Right. I will see you soon, and toodles.